Welcome to the Conscious Spirit Podcast. I'm
Yes,
Pam Mari-Lyn.
hello. I'm Pam. Hi, welcome or welcome back, whichever.
Yes.
Oh, so we always sit and rarely do we know what we're going to talk about before we sit down.
Very rarely.
Yes. And sometimes we figure it out prior to hitting record, and sometimes we don't. Today we actually we don't have it all worked out. We just kind of come up with that sort of theme. And so we have a theme sort of for today. And it's actually something that you and I have had conversations, that's the word.
Those things.
About before. A little bit. And usually what we do is we'll say, oh, let's stop talking about it because we want to talk about it on the podcast. Because if we talk about it too much before, then
it gets lost.
It does. It does.
Yeah, so, and those really wonderful things you cannot recreate.
No.
You just can't.
The first time talking about it, the first time hearing it, the first time saying it is always just, it's the best. It really is. It's yeah,
it is.
Because it for us, what happens is it's not just us in 3D. It's not just we begin to channel, and when you channel, it comes out different every time.
Yes,
the information might be there, but it comes out differently. And for me, if I have to do it again, which happens, I do. I'll channel it the next time, and my ego keeps getting in. What was that really cool thing that we said the last time? What was it? And so I'm really blocking myself and getting myself into that jam.
Yes.
Because Spirit's always going to bring it. But so that's what happens with me anyway.
It happens with me too. So, ego gets in the way, and it was so fabulous the first time, and you're like, okay, I can't remember exactly, but
yes. Yeah. Silly.
Yep.
Would you like to say what we're going to talk about today?
So we're talking about the different masks that we wear, when we wear them, why we wear them,
and why the hell can't we just be authentic? Okay, sorry, go ahead. That just hit me. It's like,
why can't we?
Yeah.
Wounding.
That's it.
Fear of the consequence. Yeah. We become, not only do we become masters of changing our masks, but we become masters at shape shifting.
Oh,
because we have to change our whole persona sometimes, depending on the mask we're wearing.
Now, sometimes we know that, and other times the shift happens and we don't even realize it's happening. We don't realize that's what we're doing.
Yes.
It's not always sometimes, and sometimes it's very conscious.
Yes.
Sometimes it's very, very conscious. You're in a certain situation, a certain person comes in, a certain whatever, and
you're like, hell no, I'm
right. I'm immediately straightening up. I'm sucking in my gut. I'm, trying to look taller and thinner, and that's very conscious.
Yeah.
So,
not always.
Not always. No.
Sometimes it is so. What's that word I'm looking for?
I don't know, but it's a good one, I'm sure.
Oh, it is a good one, and it's gone.
It'll come back. Spirit will bring it back. Yes.
But it sneaks in on us.
Yeah.
That change that we go through.
So Mari-Lyn, what are those masks, and why do we put them on? Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Is there enough time to talk about all the masks we wear?
Not all my masks. I don't have time.
I mean, really, the main reason that we put them on is wounding.
Yes. Yes.
Fear,
We've
lack
created
of self. Okay, sometimes
esteem,
it's self-esteem, self-worth, self-awareness, even.
self-awareness. Yeah. Yes.
Um,
Every one of them comes from wounding.
mhm. What
Which
I will
then
say,
could come from trauma. Yes.
yeah, for me,
Uh-huh.
in my life right now, yes, I still wear masks. I'm going to say the majority of the time is fear of the consequence, fear of backlash.
Like things that you say
Yes,
are going to come back. Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And
Because you all know Mari-Lyn as being so soft and kind, and she is all those things. But what she also is, which I appreciate so much because I'm a little thick-headed, she says things really direct. She can be very direct in her her verbiage and her message, which I personally need. So I like that. And I'm sure there are times when it hits my wounding and I won't say I'm sure. I know that there are times when it'll hit my wounding and then I kind of
but sometimes I'm harsh about that.
sometimes, sure.
Sometimes I can be very harsh.
Yes.
That's a mask.
That's a mask.
That,
ma'am.
That directness,
Mm-hmm.
when it goes to the harshness, that's wounding and that's a mask. I've put it on, I've put that mask on to accentuate that part of myself, to hide the vulnerability behind it.
So what that brings up for me is I know people who will say something really harsh to you, like to me. They'll say something really harsh and they'll say it in a really joking way. No, they'll say it really joking.
Okay.
And then if I come back and say, excuse me, or wow, or that hurt, or what, oh, you're so sensitive. I was just joking. How many people here know what that's like? That
Absolutely.
That is so a mask. That person truly is so afraid of the backlash, so afraid of what's coming back, that they're so insecure. And there's all sorts of reasons why that is.
Yes.
They put that I'm just joking mask on, so then they can, almost like gaslighting. They can throw it right back at you.
Right.
To keep them no responsibility, not taking any responsibility. That was your fault because I was just joking. When you know they weren't joking. That was not a joke. Whether what they said is true or not, they wanted to say that. And as opposed to, or instead of whatever verbiage there, finding a way to be able to tell you, like, you're going, you're going into this important meeting and I know you want to look good, but that dress does not do you any favors. Like, like, I know you said you wanted this or that, and it's not. But instead of being able to rephrase that, and that's another part of wounding, it's really hard to phrase something in a way that's kind and compassionate when you have that type of wounding. Because then you say, "Oof, you look fat in that dress." And then, what? Excuse me? And you're like, I was just joking. What? I didn't mean it. Wow, you're sensitive. And then they throw it back. I'm sure everyone knows what I'm talking about. That's a mask because that person who is in the I'm just joking, that's real wounding for them. Does not mean that you have to put up with it. No, 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 no. But that person, that's a mask.
What's coming is there is another scenario where people will say, "Oh, I'm just joking," when they may be joking about the particular situation they're commenting on, but it's truth about a situation they cannot bring up.
Yes. Ooh, wee. Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am.
I'm uncomfortable bringing up this situation that I really want to talk to you about. So I'm gonna make a joke about this situation, but I'm really talking about this other situation over
a
here.
bit of projecting, a
Yes.
little bit in that realm of.
Yep.
Yes.
So a projection mask.
Yep.
Yes.
And how
yes.
sad is that we as adults still carry around that wounding from our childhood, that, you know, maybe we weren't allowed to speak. Maybe we weren't, you know, our truth that we spoke as a child, that honesty just wasn't accepted in the family. So you were shut down, you were worse. You know, some like you might get a smack in the head, or a, you know, something would happen to you if you were to point out the obvious or the truth of the situation, or just your opinion.
Yes.
Your opinion. And so then you learned that you can't say anything without getting beat up emotionally, physically, whatever it is. So you created this mask to be able to say it, and then the other person doesn't have anywhere to go with that.
Exactly.
I get to say it. It's out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you were going down the joke mask aisle.
Oh, you thought I was going to say something else.
I thought you were going to go to something that I do not very often, but I do it. And now I know why.
Oh, ooh, good.
Just saying.
Just saying. Oh.
When I do that.
Oh.
I am removing any responsibility from myself.
Yep.
And I'm putting an exclamation point on what I said.
Yes. Wow. It's dismissed.
Oh, that just made my stomach turn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, because now the next time I want to say it, I will stop myself, hopefully.
Yes.
Because I don't want to wear the mask of, I don't want to take responsibility for my words.
Right.
And that's exactly what that is. That is a mask that I'm hiding behind, so I don't have to explain why I said it.
Right.
I don't want, for some reason, and I don't think that this is truth.
Okay.
By adding just saying removes the possibility that the person will be mad at you.
Yes. I don't know why we think it's going to do that when it never works. Right? When has that ever worked? I'm thinking of myself, the times people are just saying, when have I ever not got, it's so passive, the passive aggressiveness.
Oh my gosh, passive aggressive.
You can feel it. It's palatable.
It is. And it makes me mad that I do that, because I have worked so hard on not being passive aggressive.
Yes. And you are way less.
I am way less. And way less. This is just an easy mask to pick up.
Yeah.
To wear, because it's really easy to put down again.
Yes.
What I tend to do when I hear that verbiage is I either take it to the extreme or I ignore it. You're going to put that verbiage on it, it's not worth my time. I'm not even going to.
Yes. Yep.
You just wasted your breath, because nope.
Yeah. If you say I'm just saying, okay. Okay. Then I'm not going to respond to that. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So I guess in that sense, we are protecting ourselves from anger, because we're hoping that the people are going to go, okay, never mind. But that somehow they're still going to hear it.
Right. The whole thing is just ugly and well, there's just so much wounding there. I don't even, it's just, it's the whole thing gets, that was just the word I was going to use. Yes. So in those situations, if I were the person who wanted to say just saying, and maybe you should speak to that, and then the person that's hearing it, like what could we do differently in that situation?
There is something that I have done.
Okay.
I have said, would you like my opinion? I asked permission.
Yes.
To speak my mind.
And then, and I'm just going to say this, if I say yes, then, I'm going to get what I get. And I don't, and you don't really put yourself in, I mean, okay. You say to me, can I get
yes.
it? And we do that to each other all the time.
We do.
And then you give your opinion. The way I take it is the way I take it. But if it hits my wounding, I need to be aware enough and present enough to say, "Whew, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you being honest with me. I need some time to think about this because I feel like I want to rip your head off, or whatever it is." And we've had that. That has happened.
It has.
And I take time and I go, okay, wow, that hit my wounding. Now I'm really angry with you, but really, what am I angry with? I'm angry with my best friend throwing a truth bomb at me. This is, and as you all know, you've listened to us long enough. When we get triggered, that's an opportunity to heal. That is an opportunity to see what we've been kept in the dark, to shine some light on that and to look at it. So really, it's okay to say, I need some time to think about this. Thank you for saying that, or I'm going to back away for a little while. I'll call you or whatever when I'm done processing that information. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. There's also nothing wrong with saying, what the hell? That really hurt me. Will you help me process this right now?
Yes.
That's more how I go about it.
Yes. Or even, wow, that was hurtful. Where did that come from? Because that's not landing for me like that. That's not landing for me like that's one of my issues. Or that's not landing as truth or something. Like
something doesn't pass the smell test.
Doesn't? Yeah. Yes. That does not.
Why did you just put on a mask?
Yes. Because sometimes that's it too. I'm just kind of, just saying, or what gives me, it sort of gives me the pass on being a bitch.
Right. Well, and what we were just talking about was asking permission.
Yep.
Giving permission and then being triggered.
Yes.
And if it doesn't pass the smell test,
say that.
I ask for permission and then I put a mask on.
Yes.
To address something that isn't even in front of us.
Yes. Now, I can remember a time not long ago when it happened in reverse. I said something to you. I honestly don't remember the topic because we talk every day, several times a day. My husband's always like, how could you possibly have anything else to say to her? Because I'll run for my phone. Oh, I have to text Mari-Lyn. And he's so baffled. He is so, didn't you just spend 5 hours with her today? What more do you have to say? And this has happened more than once. I'll say something to Mari-Lyn, like, can I be honest with you? And I say it to her. And then she stops and goes, whoa, that didn't pass the smell test. Pam, what's going on? And then it comes back at me and it's like, oh shit, you're right. This is my stuff. This isn't your stuff. And I was trying to put that on you to get rid of it, to feel better. Maybe in some way it was, I knew that's how it would get talked about and healed, but I wasn't conscious of that.
Right.
So I know we've done that. And then it gives me a chance. Okay, let's bring this up. And then of course I'll apologize. Mari-Lyn, I'm sorry that I threw that at you. It wasn't you, it was me. It's not you, it's me.
It's not you. say that I've done that as well. I'm sure that's happened both
Probably.
ways.
Yeah.
The beautiful thing I have to say about when that happens, a healing happens within that.
Yes. You
And
don't
that's
have
when
to
we
be
can't
a
remember
healer
because it
to
doesn't
have
matter anymore.
Yes. Yes. That's one of the great things about healing some wounds. Those there's like little tentacles off of each wound and trauma and etc. And sometimes you can just heal that little tentacle and then it's just done. And it's like, what? I don't even remember. That happens all the time to us.
Yep.
It's like, I don't remember that. Oh, the sun's coming in. I'm going to switch, kind of scoot over a little bit here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that when you go, I was really upset yesterday. Why was I so upset yesterday? And you cannot remember.
I not remember a thing.
You cannot remember. It's like, okay,
Yes.
It must be gone. I don't need to try and bring it back.
Nope. Sometimes it's not worth even going back. No. But
Love
certainly the point of all of this is to try, if when we are present and we are, we're grounded, we're present, we show up for ourselves.
Yes.
I'm going to be here today. My job, if you will, is to be present today and to be talking to this person who's sitting in front of me, to be listening, to be engaging and engage, and this is the only place I need to be today. Right now is sitting here with Mari-Lyn doing this podcast. This is where I am. So I'm going to show up today. And in that energy, you can be the most authentic. You can understand what you're saying, why you're saying it, where it's coming from, and listen. If you were right now to tell me something, one of those, can I, whatever, can I give you my opinions? I would be ready to hear it. I don't know what my response would be because I don't, but I'm giving myself
really wonderful time to give you a compliment.
Oh, sure. Yes.
Because compliments are difficult to accept.
Yes. And we don't do enough of that, do we?
No, we don't.
Yeah, we don't. And there's another mask too, though. We've all known people that come up, oh, hey, Pam, oh my gosh, you look so nice, blah, blah, blah. Then they turn around and they're going, I hate that bitch. And it's like, whoa, back up. Then why did you just go over and say that? What was the purpose? Why did you need to ingratiate that person? There's some wounding on your side, sister. That's not on me.
Yeah. And that is one of the masks that has been floating around in my head here as we've been talking, is that ingratiating, that overly kind, dripping with sweetness.
Ugh. And when someone does that, I always think, what do you want? What are you after?
What do you really want? Then there's the helpful mask, the mask that has all the tools hanging from it.
Yes.
They're right there to help you with whatever it is that you need.
Yep.
All the time.
the mask of the empath.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Then there's the I don't want to use that word.
Oh, come on, use that word. Use that word. Use that word. Yes.
The kiss ass mask.
Yeah.
It's a mask.
It's a mask.
It's a mask. Anything that we are doing in our behavior, in our speech, that hides who we are.
Yes.
At our core level is a mask.
Yes. When you said that, what came to mind is my husband.
He's not a kiss ass.
Not in the least, which is why 35 years ago he started his own business. Because he was not going to work for a big company where he had to kiss anyone's ass. He just can't do it. I'm grateful for that. But that is not one of his. He does not have wounding there. It's just so phony to him. He just, even when they have, sometimes he has to meet with like sort of these. There's always, those big companies always have 15 vice presidents of everything, but he'll have to meet with those ones, and they very often very much like him, and because he's not going to blow smoke up their ass. He's not going to, so he just comes in, he makes jokes, he's just himself. That part of him I've always been very inspired by. I'm not gonna say it's never been envious of that. It's inspired by that. How can I do that in that? Because in that situation, I would be just like, how small can I get? I wouldn't be ingratiating, but I'd be like, okay, how small can I get?
How big can my mask get so I can hide?
Yes. Ooh, love that. Yes. Yes. But authenticity is really about being that, about being authentic wherever we go. And we're hoping by talking about this today, the people listening, including Mari-Lyn and I, will look at those places in our life where we do, start to recognize where it is you put on that mask and the why. The why is what's important, I think, in those, in that. Why am I putting on this mask? What part of this do I need to heal? Do I need to get confidence? And, whatever it is, what am I lacking here that I'm trying to make up for with this silly mask?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have had, I have dealt with depression for decades.
Yes.
And you know that.
Yes.
And you also know how much depression is really a non-issue for me.
Yes.
For the most part.
Yes.
But I will say that I can use depression as a mask.
Oh, sister. Yeah. Yep.
And I'm not kidding myself when I say that there are days where I do feel the depression underneath.
Sure.
And I reach down and I grab that mask and I pull it out from underneath and I bring it forward.
Yep. Yep.
It's easy, it's safe, it's convenient, and it's miserable.
Yes, but I'm going to add to that.
Yes.
What you do now is you will text me and say, I'm in a pity party right now.
Usually I do.
So you admit it. You put it right out there, right out front and center. This is where I want to be right now. I want to wallow in this. I want a little pity party. And I will usually ask you, what do you want from me? Or how can I help you? Or what do you want to talk? Do you want me just to live you sort of like rolling around in that? Or do you want?
Okay. Do I ever reply, I want your sympathy, I want your pity?
Yes. However, what you follow it up with is, but that's gross, or okay. So my feeling is, no, you don't actually ask for it, because I'm going to back up on, you don't actually ask for it. You say, yeah, I want you to wallow with me. I want you to tell me this and tell me that. And then we both just laugh because it's
okay.
So yes, you do, but not in,
okay.
And I'm certainly not jumping.
When I said that, now you on video will know this, but I crossed my arms, my body language got totally protective. And I asked the question because there are times when that's what I want.
Yes.
But I know that it's unproductive. It's gross. It's
and if we're texting, you even use that little green
Yes, the green emoji. Yeah. So I'm glad that I relay it in a way that I can get it out of my system.
Absolutely.
We don't go there.
And that comes with so much work that you've done. You have done so much work, so much healing, so much getting down to the bottom of the mud pit that you are able to identify it now. Does it mean you can always get yourself out of it? No, not right away, but you can identify it. And that is, I have chills everywhere.
I do too.
That is such a gift. That is such a reminder of, look how far you've come. Look at this. You can say it.
Yep.
I'm in my shit today and I want you to join in with me. Yep. But I know that's not right. And I know, Pam, you're not actually going to, but I want to throw it out. But just that naming it is huge.
It's so huge. Mm-hmm. And we are human. We are never not going to go there.
Right.
That's just part of our journey as humans.
It becomes a habit.
Oh, it does become a habit. It's a gross habit.
Gross.
I'm going to also add in there that mask of addiction. Even in recovery, we can pull out that mask of addiction and hide behind it.
Yes.
Either through the behavior.
Yes.
Or, ooh, this is hard to say. I don't even know if this is going to come out correctly.
Okay. Ooh, I want to hear it now. Okay.
The mask of I'm sober and I'm better than you.
Ooh, then me, the normie over here, right?
Ooh.
Yes.
Please tell me I don't go there very often.
Oh God, I don't think I've ever known you to go there. Not with me.
Okay.
I really don't. If it has come up, I've heard it before, and I think it's come up within healing some kind of wound. Like, oh, there is this in with this. It's that convoluted thing that you dive down into as we're healing. But I've not. No. And you've never had that I'm a normie thing going on.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's something in addiction apparently that they do, is that or in like some groups, whatever. Those of us who don't have a drug or alcohol addiction, we're called normies, which I think is really kind of offensive, but because it's making us a different, it separates us as people. Why are we separating us as people? As you know, Mari-Lyn, no, I do not have a drug or alcohol addiction. Does that mean I can't be supportive or try to understand or listen or be that good? No, it doesn't mean any of that. Do I know exactly what that is? No. But I have other things in my life that addiction comes in many packages.
Many forms.
Yes.
Many.
And you know what? For me, it was having a crappy childhood, trying to escape that. I know your childhood was not like you drank for other reasons or whatever, but the need to escape, I know what that is. I freaking know what that is. So I can stand with you on that one. I can stand with you in depression. I know what that is. I know, anger and self-loathing and all of those things. I know my go-to just wasn't alcohol or drugs or you drugs were not your thing, but the alcohol.
No, they were not. Oh my gosh, no, I was terrified of doing drugs because I was going to be an addict.
That's true. You would have been a damn good one.
I'd have been a good addict. I tell you what.
Gold star.
The fear of being a drug addict was so strong in me, I didn't do drugs.
Yes. That's good. That's
The
very good.
the concept of what an alcoholic was for me, I would not be that.
Yes.
So there was no fear of being an alcoholic.
Right.
Because I wasn't going to be that.
And isn't that part of the thing is that, well, I'm not like that, so I'm not an alcoholic.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you said the word
Uh-oh.
escapism.
Yes.
Well, isn't that exactly what wearing a mask is? Yep.
Yes, ma'am. I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't think of it at the time I used that, but as you were talking, was like, oh yeah, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether that mask is to be friendly, to be rude and bitchy, to get yourself higher up the ladder, to hide yourself,
to be a victim,
the victim mask.
Oh, I had duplicates of that one just in case. The first one, I lost the first one. I had a whole box full of them.
Yeah. The brutally honest mask, the self-deprecating mask.
Yes. Even the anger mask.
The anger mask.
Yeah. Yeah. There are so many masks.
One group of people, you've got the angry mask on. You walk out that room and into another room, and you've got the shining, sparkly teeth mask.
Yeah.
You walk out of that room and you go into the other, and you're just this nice,
like
quiet, subtle,
chill. Yeah. Yes. You go into another one and it's the dude. Like I'm so chill and nothing bothers me. Yes.
Yeah. It's like walking into all these different classrooms or offices or whatever, and we decide, okay, what mask am I going to put on to walk into this certain group of people? And no,
we are the ultimate shapeshifters. You know, when like in sci-fi and everything, they talk about even in the paranormal, we've known many spirits are shapeshifters, but in human, we are really good at the shape-shifting thing.
Yes.
Really. Oh, I was just given another one.
Okay.
We don't think we ever wear masks. I don't ever wear masks. I'm always who I am when I'm like, oh, sister, take that mask off. Yes. Yeah. Take it off because we all do it.
Would that be like a rotating mask that just like
like a real Tim Burton style where you shift it? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's take our masks off and just burn them.
Yes.
Just burn them.
So what I want is for us right now and everyone listening, if you're listening to that, or listening to us, listening to this podcast, take a moment and bring yourself to the present moment. Bring yourself, I'm in this room, wherever you are, see the colors in the room, the objects in the room are solid, they're in front of you, you're grounded, you are present. Become present with whatever you're doing. Take off all of those masks, which can be very vulnerable, but there is strength. Vulnerable can also mean authentic, which just came to me, and I know there's strength in vulnerability, but what I'm hearing now is it's authentic. It's authenticity.
That's where the strength comes from.
Yes.
Is our authentic self.
Yes. Yes. I never quite understood that term until just now. There's strength and vulnerability. I've always said that. I've always believed that. I could feel it.
Yes.
But I didn't have that word for it. And it's authenticity. There's strength in that.
That's why it's vulnerable.
That's why it's
because
vulnerable.
we are being
Ding,
our
ding, ding, ding.
authentic
I have
self.
lights going off all around me spiritually. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. And
ooh. I like when she does that. It means
being
came in.
being vulnerable is allowing our authentic self to come out.
Yeah.
There is a point, however,
yes,
when we can stretch that vulnerability to a place of ego,
yes,
to where it then becomes a mask itself.
and yes, there is a point when we don't even realize we're putting on a mask of some sort.
Yes.
What I was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
What they
watching, sorry, my hair, it was crazy today, so I just threw it up here, and I know it's like, yeah, anyway. They don't care about my hair.
I think your hair looks lovely today.
Thank you.
I do.
Thank you.
When you were saying for everybody to get themselves present and in their
and
room.
See how I went to my hair because I got uncomfortable?
Yes.
But anyway, go ahead.
But I didn't realize how I was not here anymore.
I wasn't either.
I was like, I don't know where I was.
Yes. Yes.
But I heard you saying it and I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Thing has pink on it.
Yes. When you learn to get grounded and present, and you know what that is compared to when you're not, the room you're in, whatever's in front of you, the physical things look different. They look different. They really do. When you're ungrounded, when you're not present, sure, I know there's a desk there. I know there's a lamp there. I know that this is there and that's there. But it's kind of fuzzy or something. Like it's not that solid thing in front of you, like when you're present and grounded. Yep. Yeah, it's a difference. There's a big difference in that.
A big difference. Yeah. It's almost like it becomes 1 or 2 dimensional when you're not present. Mm-hmm. But when you're fully here, the 3D-ness of
good word.
The objects is astounding.
Oh, absolutely.
People are like going, oh my God, she's
yes, yeah.
It's true.
But I can say, if you don't know the difference, then you don't truly know what it's like to be grounded and present. I'm going to be very true. That's really, yes. And it's time to, okay, so I'm going to walk right back to all of a sudden I went to that made me very uncomfortable to be, and I try on these podcasts, I really try to be as authentic as possible, especially, not X, there's no X in there, especially kind of like espresso. No, it's espresso.
No, X. That would be express, as in.
Yes, like hurry it up. With Pam Ponders, I try to be as vulnerable as possible, try to be as authentic as possible with those. With these podcasts, with you here, I can sort of lift up a little bit because I know you're sort of my counterbalance, if that makes sense. So
it does to me.
And so right now, when I said, okay, let's get present, whatever, all of a sudden I went, oh, my hair. I literally just noticed my hair. That's how getting present brought me to the point where, oh, look at my hair. And then the insecurity came. of my hair. So for those of you just listening, I have it up in this, I'll put my hair up in this little funky thing, kind of bun-esque, but it's all pulled up on the top of my head or kind of to the back of my head. So yeah, I got a little vulnerable there. I really did. And so I went, first of all, I saw it. So with that said, when you become very present and in your body, when you like that, for instance, so I all of a sudden got a feeling of vulnerable.
Right.
It's okay. It was okay had I just sat there and went, wow, I don't think but the vulnerability that goes with the vulnerability, all of a sudden I noticed my hair. There's something there that I still need to work on, clearly. But being vulnerable can be really hard.
It can be hard. It is hard.
It is hard. And sitting without those masks is...
Yes. It is hard. And it becomes easier the more we do it.
Yes.
The more comfortable we become with whom we are.
Yes.
Is it ever going to be comfortable to be vulnerable? That's my question. Is it ever going to be comfortable to be vulnerable?
I hope so. Because that is that authenticity, right?
I hope so.
Yeah. I mean, there is actual vulnerability that is wounding, that we hide from. But in the way we're talking about with being authentic,
yeah,
I sure hope so. So that leads me to the thing then, do I have, and of course I do, I have a mask that I wear when I do podcasts. So I became really, when I'm seen, now that's the difference with Pam Ponders, it's just audio.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
So it's the being seen part. You know, the camera is not always our friend. Now with Zoom, we're on Zoom.
I know that because my podcasts are all on video.
Yes.
And the camera is not always
my friend. Now with these, we use Zoom and there's some filters. They're not huge, but they're a little bit to help you, like your skin not look so, you know, the light for the lighting is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and even then,
yeah. But that you know, that's, yeah, to be seen on camera is very vulnerable for me. Yeah.
It's very vulnerable. It's vulnerable for me too. Why I seem to, and I can't say that I'm comfortable being vulnerable, but I do it.
Right.
I do it because my podcasts are, I mean, they're for everybody.
Yes.
But if there is one person,
yes,
that is struggling with addiction, whether they are in their addiction or out of their addiction, but they're struggling, if by being vulnerable, I can bring them a little comfort, yes, it's worth all the discomfort I experience.
Beautiful. Well said.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. Yep. Well, what came to me also is when we do the paranormal videos, I'm always playing with my hair and whatever, and I should probably just put it up more often than I do, but I don't. So that's that's the energy. I can feel it in my hair. My head starts itching. And so I'm always, and I'm sure it drives people nuts, but that's a little different than what this was right now. Yeah, there is a difference in that. Whew. Wow. So being authentic,
no masks,
no shape shifting, man. But we all do it. We all We all shapeshift. We do. It's how we learn to protect ourselves, how to fit in, how to not. Well, there's so much of that. A lot of it, on one hand, there's obviously different sections, but there's one that's really about fitting in. How can I fit in? What mask can I wear to be like the group? And that starts very young. And
Yes.
like whether it starts in your home or in school, how can I fit into this group? How can I stop doing something that's authentic for me and put this mask on so I'm accepted here?
Yeah.
I want to be accepted, and I want. And also, that also brings up like bullies at school. Bullies are wearing a mask. Bullies are,
Oh, yeah.
that's another piece. They're not trying to, well, they are kind of trying to fit in, but in a really ass backward way. They're trying to hurt you before you hurt them, but they're always going to have those people around them because being with the bully means they're not going to get bullied.
True.
So there's all kinds of, anyway, I know getting off there, but that's, so in our childhood, we learn those masks really well, and they follow us into adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
And
even those masks that hide us.
Yes.
I mean, that
Yes.
literally make us disappear.
Yes.
To most of the world.
Yes. So for those of you watching, we like to sort of bring something in to get you to, thought provoking, as Mari-Lyn would always say. What would be your wish for people listening today, including us? But
oh, I think you said it earlier. My wish is for people to become aware of when they're wearing a mask and why.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that they have the willingness to put down the mask.
Yes. Yeah. Put it down, and finding out the why is always a really, and it's a reason, not an excuse. I would always say that to my children when they'd come to me, or I'd catch them doing something, or whatever it was, and I'd say, are you giving me a reason or an excuse? I'm not going to take your excuse. I'll take your reason, and we'll talk about it and we'll work on it. But you give me an excuse, I got nowhere to go with that.
Yes.
That's just that's just digging yourself in deeper. Let's not dig ourselves any deeper. Let's try to come out of the hole. Let's try to bring ourselves present and be authentic.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of like we're having a conversation and I just start making jokes. I'm putting on that funny mask. And you ask me why. And I say, oh, I just wanted to lighten the mood in the room. Reason? Excuse.
Yes.
I'm going to say excuse.
I'm going to say excuse. I'm going to call you on that one.
Big excuse.
Yes.
Reason would be, what you're talking about has made me so uncomfortable. I want to crawl so deep inside and hide.
Yes.
And the only way I can not do that is to be funny.
Yes. Yes. And I tend to do that a lot to poor Mari-Lyn. I bring up stuff all the time that she gets uncomfortable with, and I talk about it. Yeah. So you don't always do that, but sometimes you'll say, "Woo, that's making me uncomfortable." But yes.
And there are
reason, excuse.
There are a lot of topics, worldwide topics.
Yeah.
That just, I have no control over it. And so talking about it, I can't deal. I have such a hard time being able to talk about something that is so far out of my control. I am working on that, though. I am trying to get better.
Yes.
About opening myself up to more possibilities than, how do I want to say this? Than what affects me personally.
Sure.
Right? Because yeah. Anyway, I don't.
Yeah.
Kind of really got off topic there.
That's a little bit, but yeah. I think if you want to get that, I'm not going to say anything specific, but getting that big sort of globally or things that are going on bigger than us.
Yeah.
If everyone would become present and get more authentic, we could stop some of the BS that's happening right now.
Yes.
It would stop it before it even gets started. If we could be authentic, that might be important to this person. It's not important to me, or this movement is just like crazy and people are just, let's get authentic. Let's get vulnerable. Let's get to that place of being present and have real conversation. Let's stop blowing smoke up people's butts because we're afraid of saying the truth, that whatever the backlash is. So then that just makes that cause or that whatever just bigger. It gives it way more strength when we just sit back and don't say
very
what
true.
Feel or whatever it is. Yeah.
And I was kind of making an excuse. I don't know why I just went off topic onto there. Yeah. That was an excuse.
Okay.
The reason was I was uncomfortable with everybody knowing that I'm uncomfortable with some topics you bring up.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So, I open it up in an attempt to defend something that doesn't even need to be defended.
Ooh, yeah. There's a mask slash.
There's a mask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we all have them. We all have lots of them. No matter how much we've healed, Mari-Lyn and I have done, if there's such thing as a butt ton, if that's a real thing, we've done a butt ton of
that.
And we still have those masks. So really naming it, being aware of it is really the first step in just moving through those masks. And spirit will bring you the most important ones first. So I'm sure there are some that I have that I'm not even aware of. And spirit's like, well, you don't need to know that one right now because it would just be overwhelming. If we knew every single mask, every single behavior, every single everything, it would just be so overwhelming.
Yes.
It would be so overwhelming. And being human is hard enough. We don't need that. So spirit does bring us one at a time, the one that's most important right now. Now that's something that if in my healing session, someone will come and they will have something that they want to talk about. Maybe they want some healing on. And I usually say to them, we'll look into that, but spirit might take us in another direction because there's really, maybe you're bypassing, that person's bypassing, or what they think the wounding is really isn't the actual wounding. And so spirit brings in what's necessary and then sort of ties it all up at the end. But that happens a lot. And I felt like I needed to say that for whatever reason, but yes.
Because it was important.
It was important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spirit always knows. And when I say spirit, certainly in that case, we're talking about like your higher self. Your higher self has the blueprint for this lifetime. All the things you're meant to work on. They know, your higher self knows everything. That is your super brain. That is your all encompassing, like my higher self knows everything, Pam. There's not one shadow there at all. So when I go to do something, when I go to heal, my higher self will go, yeah, that's a bypass. That's not really what it is. I'm gonna slip the real thing under there so we can actually get clarity and get this thing taken care of.
Yeah.
Yes, we bypass a lot. We're very good at that. Humans are super bypasser things, whatever's. Yes, it's like the super highway for bypassing. Don't want to look at that. Not gonna look over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, whoo, I would say we're about to the end of this, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening, watching, listening, both.
Yeah.
We always appreciate that you show up. We still, I don't know about you. For myself, I'm always amazed, like, oh my gosh, people are listening.
Me. Always,
Yes.
always amazed, full
Yes.
of gratitude.
Oh, because this, again, we are 10%. Spirit is truly 90% of all of this. We are just sharing what's coming. We have the beautiful gift of being the one who gets to sit here and be the mouthpiece. And it's amazing and fabulous. And super healing for me. Always so healing for me. Which is what I want to do.
Always. These podcasts for me are so enlightening.
Yes.
Into my own stuff.
Yes, it sort of lightens up those dark corners, doesn't it? It's like, son of a God.
Yep. Yep.
So,
all right. Well,
yes. We
encourage you to put down those masks.
Yes. Please.
And get authentic.
Yes. Nothing else to be said there.
Nope.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.